Hi, I'm Darrel Tank, and I'm excited about this latest series of drawing tutorials that I've just completed. You will learn how to draw the mouth. You'll learn how the mouth is formed, how to handle the various shapes it's able to make, both open and closed, and we'll take a look at the unique differences in our mouths based on gender, age, and race. Instead of just telling you about it, I want to give you a free sneak peek into what's on just a portion of the actual tutorial. In the first one, we're going to deal with structure and perspective. We're going to look at how shape is formed, the difference between clean edges versus contours, and this is going to help us understand where to put our shadows and how to construct them. Let's jump in and watch just a portion of this first tutorial. Now you'll notice that we see quite a bit of the mouth here where the point from this center line, it was so critical for us to identify, from there to what we can't see anymore, the edge of that lip is very small. And you'll see that this is represented by that. It's just this space. Where the side of the face over here, we're seeing this much of the face. That's exactly why we see this. And this also helps us identify that critical place where we need to put clean edges. Or we need to know that there are no clean edges on the side of the face because we can see this whole expanse. It's probably going to be contours. This right here, we're going to have go around and out of our sight. We'll have this go around and out of our sight in a clean edge. Now some of the things that we will still want to take into consideration. This is still, you see that we have a curve here, that clean edge. So it's still going to probably be a little bit of a contour there. We want to be able to go around to this part. This is going to go around the fullness of the lip into there. And this is going to be shaded down just a little bit. This is going to be one of the constants, probably. We want to have a clean edge there and shaded down. I hope you enjoyed that. Of course, there's a lot more information on structure and perspective in the actual tutorial. You will also find many examples of how the structure of the mouth determines the contours and the clean edges to value that will help you apply your shading properly. Now, I want to show you another free sneak peek into another tutorial. And this one is an example of drawing a kiss or a pucker. This is very unique because of the way the lips gather together to create this circular shape. So let's take a quick look at just a part of the lesson on drawing a kiss or a pucker. At the pattern here, even though we want this to be a soft variegated edge as well, we still have some of those very basic things about a lip. We come out here and we have that soft entry into the skin, and we see that flared edge to a lip that's so often there, probably more with one person or another, but in this case it's probably a lot because of the structure of this formation of the lips. Then we have other parts of the face, as we always want to pay attention to, that are helping to create this, the muscles that are involved and the way the face has to gather to compensate for this particular expression is really important. And so we want to, I'm going to look up here and I'm saying, well, if I went straight up from this, this is over a ways. Maybe I can pick up a couple angles that are, if I look down here, it comes down to the corner. See this kind of a row, an edge row to that. So we can use that as a little bit of a guide. And we can go ahead and now get that indentation, that fold in the structure of the outer portions of the face, of the mouth. Let's see what we can do with some of this. Now we can actually remove some of this so that we can show this reflection, the moist lips, and we can continue refining that as well. the first effort is not going to be all there is to it. And then I would maybe not take my eraser and actually rub it across there to remove a little more. But some of these other places I can in a very controlled removal, tap off just what I need to make sure that I have these highlights. May not be shiny. I hope you can see how important it is to pay attention to the unique aspects of each of the mouths you may want to draw. Now, I have another shape that I want to show you. In this example, we're not going to see the lips pushed together in this circular shape like we had for the kiss or the pucker. Instead, we're going to see the mouth drawn tight, and this is going to smooth out the lips and make them much thinner. We're also going to see the expansion line smooth out and some of the other characteristics change. So let's watch again just a portion of this next tutorial on drawing a laugh. Okay, now this mouth is just one of many variations that a smile could have. And so we really want to pay attention to how wide it's open, how much of the inside of the mouth we're going to be able to see. That's naturally going to change the contrast that we may be able to utilize or we need. And I haven't developed that all the way, but I still want to make sure that we have our clean edges so we have good separation. There's a lot of opportunity for depth in a smile. And the lips are tight across here, so we're going to see more of the gums. And we naturally want to take advantage of that. We have contour because of the tongue. We have not the same contour in the lips, but we still want to show that it wraps around the face. The corners are brought back further, and that's one reason why it's so tight. So even though this is just one variation on a smile and a laugh, we want to still make sure that we pay attention to a few things like the center line so that we can capture the individual characteristic of this person. I hope you enjoyed that. And I'll also have a better understanding of how to draw a mouth when it's wide open in a laugh without it looking strange. Now let's go ahead and jump to a completely different topic, teeth. In this first demo, you're going to see a very generic set of teeth and how to structure it and what to pay attention to so that those teeth don't become scary. So let's go ahead and take a quick peek. So I'm going to get some value in here. And even though the lips may look darker, I'm going to do the same approach that I do with the eyes. If you've seen the eye demonstration, you know that I like to use that eyelid and cast a shadow down. Well, this is one of the places that is going to make the shadow that you cast at the top of the iris and the eyeball where you see it, and underneath that eyelid, and then the nostril as it comes down. You're going to put the main part of your shadow at the top of that, and then when you get down to the gum here, you're going to be able to make the lip shade the gums, and we need to have a clean edge, or we're never going to be able to go past the lips and into the inside of the mouth. Now that I've established all those things, I can put quite a bit of value in here and just recess the teeth as they go back into the recesses of the mouth. So in reality, we'd have the shadow this way, we'd have this edge, and we'd have the shadow this way, and we'd have the shadow, the edge and then the shadow this way. All logical unless there's some tooth out of place. And then we can go ahead and make sure that we have our value getting darker on the teeth as well. So I'm going to go over basically the darks and the lights and make sure that I have a gradation overall that recesses into the corner of the mouth. I'm going to show you one more example on teeth. This one's about drawing crooked teeth. Now these are still just shapes that we're dealing with, so we want to pay attention to how the relationship changes between each of them when they're all not in a perfect row. So let's go ahead and take a peek. Let's decide where our value is. We're going to create a clean line and go into the darker part of the mouth, creating contrast. Pretty easy for our minds to pick up what we're trying to accomplish there. Now we're getting all these general shapes created by the darkest value. And I'm really trying to pay attention to, and you can start seeing it developed if you didn't already, the fact that I am going to have some things disappear behind something else. In this case, corners of teeth. Maybe one side of a tooth is let's make a chip out of this one. A little bit of a chip tooth. Now that concludes the tutorials on teeth that are in this sneak peek. Of course, these are just short clips of what you're going to see in the full How to Draw a Mouse series. Now let's take a look at a couple different races. I'm going to show you parts of two examples that are in this series. The first one is of an Asian woman. We're going to take a look at her unique traits based on her race and the uniqueness she has as an individual. Let's take a look. And let's take a look at this in relationship to what we had before. Let me just pull this other one in, this profile, and remember that this is very flat. So that would mean, it seems, that this is translated very flat, just like this. But it's curved at the top more. So it curves from out of the division between the lips, and then it's pretty straight. And then as it gets down to the bottom, we see a little bit of a turn again. But it's probably important for me to do, to capture that and understand that. Making sure that these expansion lines are contours. We can do that in a very concentrated place so that it still has the definition that we're looking for here. And again, this may not necessarily be an Asian's lips. I'm sure that it isn't going to represent that many people. But her lips look to me like they could be overall Asian, and then we have her very unique, the very unique aspects of her lips even within that. Now, our next example is of a black man. You might be surprised at how little a dark value has in indicating his race. Let's take a look. So now this gets into this man isn't necessarily as dark as a black man could be. So I don't want to come in here again, as I've said before, and just say, well, this is going to be a black man. Watch this. I'll make it black, and then you overcommit yourself too soon. And I would like to concentrate again on the unique shape and characteristic. And then if we were going to make it consistent, then this side of the nose would be darker, and you'd see a highlight ridge along here. This would be quite a bit darker until you finally start having some light show up here. This would be darker coming out here, but all of this would be darker than that brightest highlight we're going to have there. All important. The contrast is so important. So those were parts of just 2 of the examples that are on this DVD series. Now I want to show you part of one last tutorial that I think is particularly interesting. This is of a person who has been making expressions their entire life. And as Mark Twain said, wrinkles should indicate where smiles have been. Now, I think it's very important when we're capturing the age lines in a mouth, around the rest of the face, that we do it in a very complimentary way so that they don't become harsh and the focus of the picture. I want to make sure I capture the essence of who that person is. Now, I think this is extremely important. So let's go ahead and take a look at this last tutorial. Now it's even like a wrinkle here that I'm doing, it would be darker as it goes and integrates with this smile line. As it goes around here, you probably can't see it well enough to appreciate it, but it would follow the same rule. Everything gets darker when it goes to where there's less light. So as it goes into this recess, that end of it, I want to gradually transcend into a little darker value. I'm going to go back to my 4H, and I'm going to create a little more shadow on one side of these contours. The contour goes like this. This side, because of the lighting source, is shaded a little more, then it comes more and more towards the light, and then I'll have this light ridge on that side of the hump that will pick up the light. I hope you enjoyed this sneak peek and learned something as well. There's about 5 hours of tutorials in my new series on how to draw a mouth, so there's a lot more there. I hope you're able to visit 5pencilmethod.com/mouth for even more information on the mouth series and to take advantage of the free tutorials that are there. And of course, as is with all of my drawing tutorials, your purchase price is guaranteed for a full year. So if you ever decide that these tutorials aren't for you, there's absolutely no risk. So have fun drawing.